Fun.
Okay. Hello, Lilian.
Hi, can you hear me? All good?
Yeah, we can see and hear you. I think we can see and hear each other. We're live on live video production page, and we're on OBS.Ninja, which is totally free to use from anywhere in the world. You can have 7 people on screen, broadcast to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or Periscope, and as we're proving, it actually works. Lynda, your thoughts?
Well, first of all, I tried to go live on my cell phone because, you know, Steven, most of our shows, I think maybe all of our shows, I've been on mobile. And so I wanted to make sure that I did our Just Do It again on mobile. So I went to do it this morning. It didn't work. It didn't just do it. So I went to my computer. And then as I was brushing my teeth, I had this epiphany. How can I do this mobile? And I made it happen. I'll share that with you guys later, how I did that. Dun, dun, dun.
Hello. Now, this is the first time you've appeared on one of our broadcasts, so you're most welcome. Can you tell us about yourself and your work?
For Lilian, right?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. I wasn't sure the question was for me or Lynda. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Lilian Möller. I am the founder and CEO of the African Women's Economic and Entrepreneurship Forum, the place where we challenge the status quo for economic advancement of African women worldwide. I am passionate about financial freedom. I am passionate about income streams because, as we all know, getting closer to Women's Day, women are the most likely to be unemployed or get low-paid jobs. Let's not mention about Africa itself, where women are underrated. Women are not being valued for the value that they provide to the market. So my target or my goal or my wish for the next generation is that as we raise kids, as we raise girls, that will be able to identify for them what kind of income streams they can create for themselves. They should be able to understand that it's vital for them to have income streams so they can make better choices.
Excellent.
That's fantastic.
And when you say income streams, what sort of activity are you thinking of?
Well, there are so many sorts of income streams. Having a job itself is an income stream, but not many women in Africa do have jobs. Starting up a business is an income stream. And if you look at the statistics, African women are the first. Look at all the continents. African women are the first in creating businesses. However, they do not create these businesses in a very sustainable way. So it's just a hand-to-mouth business, just to raise kids, to feed their kids, or just to support the family. My aim is that they'll be able to create businesses that will sustain them for a longer period of time. So we are talking of, investment. We are talking of real estate. It may sound a little bit far-fetched, but for Africans, you know what I'm talking about. It's not that far-fetched.
What part do organizations like Kiva play?
Exactly. Kiva is part of them. But again, this is it's a good organization. I mean, I really admire the work they do. But who is encouraging these women to go beyond what they are creating right now? How do they make this some kind of repetitive act, like investment, so they get as they sleep? If Europeans or the developed world can create income while they sleep, why not Africans? That's my goal.
Now, some months ago, Lynda and I started a broadcast together, which was called Just Do It. And it's the same sort of thing, because what we're saying to people is, well, Lynda, can you explain?
Well, just whatever it is that you want to do, you should go do it. 'Cause, live your life with no regrets. And I know that culturally speaking, so Lilian, I have a question for you, because culturally speaking, that's the uphill battle you're going against, is my understanding. I have some friends who live in Africa, Nigeria, and different countries. I'm sorry, different parts of Africa, and from my understanding, from being here and looking on the other side, I'm not there. But culturally speaking, that going to be the biggest challenge you're going to have? Because not only from the men, like maybe possibly pushback from the men, but pushback from the women. This is the way we've always done it. This is the way I've always been. This is the way my family, like a lot of cultures carry their past with them forever, and they have a hard time letting go of that. They have a hard time stepping into that ownership, stepping into that leadership, stepping into those positions that emotionally and mentally we have to step into in order to move into that action. Because like what you want for them is amazing, and that is a great driving force. But how do you help those women who are, those mindset is stuck in that tradition? How do you help them move past that tradition and into creating their own tradition, the new life, the new way? This is the new way. This isn't about staying with the old way and staying with the tradition.
I really appreciate that question, because it throws more light to what I do and what I dream of. It's true that the culture, that's the first blockage to what I'm doing. However, the Africa you knew back in those days is not the same Africa. If you go to Nigeria, you will not believe yourself. You go to Rwanda, it's a different story. And I could name it. Go to Cameroon, it's a different story. However, the culture is a problem, which I agree. But I'm going to throw back that same question at you. Go back to the US, go back to Europe. This was not long ago when women themselves were in the same situation and did not know how to come out. That's why we have all these Women's Day, this day, to, alleviate, to throw the light, to talk about it. So it's not only an African problem. Yes, there is a cultural problem here, but Africa is not the Africa you used to know. And there are many, many more women coming up as leaders. Just give you an example. Who is the Director General of the World Trade Center? She's a Nigerian. So we are beginning to see the women come up. The main blockage, I think, it's yes, the culture, yes, the women themselves, because they don't have enough role model. If this becomes a norm, if this becomes like any other girl has a PhD, it's a norm. It's just like in the US or in Europe. But we are really, really lacking behind. But these women, what they have is what the developed countries are struggling with. They have skills. They have skills. Give an African woman $50 and just watch what she's going to do with it. But what's going to break her is her family, is the spouse, and the number of children that she has to support. That's what's going to break her, not the fact that she doesn't have the skill. She has the skills. I have seen more skills in Africa than anywhere else.
Well, that's fantastic. So yeah, I totally agree with you. I was just wondering what your perspective was on that, because again, I'm here. I'm not in Africa.
Yeah.
I do know the African women that I do know are entrepreneurs, and they are successful. They are, more than making a living at it. So I do know that's happening. And I was just wondering for the culture, how is the culture moving into that new space? Because, there's cultures all over the world that experience whatever they're experiencing. And that experience is a lot of times based on history.
Yeah.
And like you said, with like the women's suffrage, right? Women are now voting, and everybody's voting in the US, basically, even kids probably. I'm not sure about that. But it's interesting because it does take that first person to just do it, to take that stand and say, you know what, we're not taking this anymore. We're going to make a difference. We're making a change. And those changes start off slow, and just like a snowball, as it gets bigger and bigger and bigger as time goes by. Yeah. Right. So that's what you're creating, as I see it, is that snowball effect where, we're going to just continue to move forward. We're going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to create those leaders. We're going to continue to help them to change their mindset, to see that they don't have to just scrimp and save and make just the bare minimum to live and then die working like that. So congratulations to you on the great movement that you're making in the country, and to make the changes. So that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much. I mean, it's not only to me. I also congratulate those standing behind me and you encouraging me right here. It's true that the culture is a problem. However, I stand corrected, because when I started this movement, I was like, we have to change, we have to. I think there is a way of implementing change through leadership, through, doing it yourself, being that example. So I'm just trying to be that example that people need to see. I'm just trying to be that example, or create more examples, or many more women, build up many more women to show them the advantages of what it could be like when women are financially free. This culture was built in an epoch where there was slavery, and it had to exist. Something had to exist. And African culture is richer than we think. We just have to open our eyes to reality without twisting words and twisting things around. Yes, women are not valued, but at a certain point they were valued. And to certain men, they've had enough of women just being baby makers, staying at home. So there is change. We have change from both sides, maybe not at the same wavelength, but I see there is the need for it. People are yearning for it, especially the younger generation. Younger generation do not want to be just mothers and stay at home and be forgotten after that. No. So this is what I'm hopeful for. I hope I shine the light. I hope many people will follow me, will encourage me, because it's not an easy battle, as you rightly said. Yes.
Yeah, well, fantastic. Good for you for putting yourself out there and being one of those leaders leading that charge, because they do need that role model, like you said, and just for stepping up. Congratulations. That's fantastic.
Thank you very much.
For the last 4 years, we've been very fortunate in the West to be able to go live on Facebook and YouTube, etc., and to broadcast the world. And that's how Lynda and I got together, broadcasting. But there's been a cost to it. And you've had to pay a monthly fee to somebody to provide the infrastructure for you to go live. Now, when lockdown started in Canada, a member of the development team at Stage 10, who've been around 3 or 4 years and are one of the sort of major players in live broadcasting, decided that he would create a piece of software which he called OBS.Ninja. And that's the software we're actually using today. Now, his reason for doing this was to give freedom to communication, so that you can actually go live using OBS.Ninja and OBS, have up to 7 people on screen, and broadcast out to Facebook and YouTube. So this is now the beginning, and I'm glad that we're all together today. This is the beginning of a broadcast movement. Because if you can bring people together on live video, either publicly or in private groups, to have this, to have many mobile phone, and they can join a positive discussion which helps them to move forward, and they can do it all for free.
Yeah.
So it's free to the host, it's free to everybody who joins. Yeah? I think that this technology could actually change things. Do you feel so? Lilian?
I think it's a great idea. I think Lynda.
Yeah, I do have a question though. Everybody's saying we're not live, so I'm just curious if we